But when do you like to prep your food? How do you break down your week for your days where you plan ahead?
So it definitely varies. I look at the week we have coming up, what events, what practices, what games, what nights do we have things that maybe we're going to be out. Sunday, I do a big prep. I love to have like a couple of ground meats on hand. Those are just really easy for my kids and I to throw in tacos or salads. You can really make a variation of stuff there. So Sunday is a big prep. I like to have like a big soup just because I can eat the same thing for 5 days. If it's nutrient dense and healthy and clean and homemade, I'm like, I will eat this until it's gone, especially because cooking with a family is hard. So if it means I don't have to cook, I'm eating leftovers. So meal prepping on Sunday, usually a couple of meats and like a soup or something to have. And the other thing that I do is I will cook a couple of times during the week for dinners, but I triple that up. So if I make steak, I'm making like 6 pieces of steak and we're going to have that for lunch the next day. My kids are going to get some inside their lunch boxes. Really, it's whenever I get the chance to cook, it's a lot at the same time.
Smart move. That's the way it should be done. And I mean, that's the way that I do it for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm going to cook myself a chicken breast, well, then I'm going to cook 4 because now I
Yeah.
have salads done for the week,
Yeah.
If I'm going to put in the energy to do one item, I might as well do multiple. And so then it's there in the fridge. So I'm a big on ground meats as well, whether it's lamb, bison, beef, like venison, and then adding in organ meats into that ground meat or buying it pre-mixed in. But if I'm going to I never buy like 1 pound of ground beef. I always buy 2 because I make more meatballs that way. Today, when we're done recording, I'm going to make myself a paleo bison chili with bone broth. And I bought 2 pounds of bison because if I make that chili once, I'm going to have 5 meals from it throughout the week. And it's filled with liquid and bone broth. And it's going to warm me, but it's also going to make me full with all those extra vegetables, all that extra liquid. And then it's like you make it once, you just put the pot in the fridge. Easy peasy, works for lunch or dinner. But none of us can necessarily make 3 meals from scratch a day, every day. Like that's just exhausting.
Well, and it's not economical. That doesn't really make sense either.
Yeah. So we all have to learn to plan ahead. And it's funny that this is such, I think, a common conversation now is like, how are you fueling yourself? How are you meal prepping for yourself? Because this isn't necessarily something we learn how to do, even if you're lucky enough to have a home ec class in middle school or high school these days, which are rare. They're not necessarily going to teach you how to cook for yourself as an adult. So these are one of the life skills that we all have to go back and learn. And I think
I agree.
many people try to outsource it by doing food delivery systems or hoping they can go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or Erewhon and they can just stack up on a bunch of pre-made meals. But until you learn to nourish yourself, you can't outsource it. You have to learn to do it yourself. And then I feel like you can get to a place where you can outsource it.
I agree. And even, I mean, I hate to throw Trader Joe's under the bus, but you turn those packaging over, first of all, the quality of the meats are just like, and then there's always some sort of canola oil in there. And then I can't stand all their plastic packaging. I think it's a nice start, but no. I mean, just 2 nights ago, I made this, I mean, it doesn't have to be complicated. I made steaks, sweet potatoes, and I had romaine lettuce with some olive oil on it. Like just as simple as can be. And that, sometimes stews or these casseroles or things sound complicated to my clients. I say, okay, literally just pick a meat, just pick like a Japanese purples, whatever those sweet potatoes are, and something colorful, and batch cook those and call it a day. But the thing that I do hit a roadblock with is not everybody's. Like I said, I can eat the same thing for 5 days in a row if I know it's whole food based and I've made it and it's clean. A lot of people have romanticized food, and I get it. It should be beautiful and it should be enjoyed, and I love a beautiful meal with friends, but it's just not attainable. So having to like reset them and say it's not going to taste like it does when you eat out, and it's gonna be basic, but it's gonna fuel you. And once they feel the benefits of how clear they are and how well they sleep and how patient they are with their family and their jobs, that's where, you can't really, they gotta experience that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's seeing how good you can feel in your body and your mental clarity and your calmness and how grounded you are when you change what you eat. You can never go back.